Hello everyone, Triple here, and I'm here with something a bit fun, because it's another season of the NNDL. I've had some seasons on my channel before, and the new season just started, and we basically just finished the draft. We're not entirely there yet, but I have all my mons, so I just kind of wanted to talk about that and, you know, explain why I chose it. I drafted some interesting stuff this time, and I'm really hoping that, like, in the next few weeks I can, like, use it well. The interesting thing is, I started with Mega Mawile, who she is known for that huge power, very strong, like, Mega. I believe even the strongest Pokemon there is, because 210 base attack, that hits like a truck. A lot of coverage. The thing has, like, Fairy and Steel, of course, because that's its main typings, but it also has Ice, Fire and Electric coverage, Rock coverage. It has that Sucker Punch, which is very scary. Fighting coverage. It has Focus Punch. Crunch. It has a lot here, which can be very cool, but also stuff like Metal Burst can be very interesting. Poison Fang, really cool addition. And the one downfall to this is it's slow, yes, but its typing is very good defensively, so it'll likely live a hit, and it's basically, it can kill anything. There's like a handful of things it can't kill, and I really, because I was looking at what Mega I wanted, and I realized that I have actually never, I think, used Mega Mawile before, because it was always so, like, it's the one people know for, hey, this is strong, and I'm always more for, like, niche Pokemon, but I wanted to try it out now, and Steel, very solid typing. I had this duo around Mawile, which I really wanted, which was Mawile, Mega Mawile, plus Larias. I wanted a Ladi. That was one of the first things I decided. I want a Ladi. Then I took a look at the tier list. Mega Lati was banned, so I could go with Mega Mawile. But normal Larias. Larias has a lot it can do. It can run defensive and offensive. That 110 speed is a very good speed there. It's very especially defensive, which means, like, fire type moves going towards Mawile I can easily eat. Also, I have Levitate, so I'm immune to the ground moves headed Mawile's way. And this thing has, like I said, a lot going for it. It has a lot of different coverage, which makes it very hard to protect. It has recovery, it has setup, it has, like, status moves, and there's just a lot you can do with this if you're creative enough. Larias is in draft a very scary one because of how hard it is to prepare for. Also stuff like Psycho Shift, no, I mean Psych Up, and Icy Wind, and let's see, what else do you get? Reflect Type. Reflect Type in itself makes this very hard, because, well, Dragon Psychic is really good. I can Reflect Type on something coming in that's super effective on me, and suddenly it's not super effective anymore. That makes it very hard to prepare for. And also, with these two, I'm completing a Fairy Dragon Steel core, which is already very strong. However, at this point, everything fell apart. I had a whole plan going with, like, Nidoking and I believe Moltres and stuff like that, based around letting Comfey sweep. And someone took Comfey. So at that point, my entire plan was in ruins. I had no clue what to do. There was one mon I wanted, in my last one that still could fit with this, which is Chestnut. But beyond that, I had to like redo my entire team. However, Chestnut, people underestimate this mon because it was the same gen that Delphox and Greninja were released. So those get all the spotlight. But this thing can do surprisingly much. One, paired with like, because if you take a look at Latias, 130 SPDF, not as good defense. Where Chestnut has 122 defense and not as good SPDF. So these two together are very hard to break through. Flying type moves are a bit of a problem, but then again I have plenty of stuff to counter that. Plus Mawile itself also deals with that. But this thing, it gets Dragon Claw, it gets Earthquake, it gets Drain Punch, it gets Poison Jab, it gets Shadow Claw, Rock Slide, it gets a lot of coverage, which is surprising. Well, it's actually not that surprising because it's a starter. Starters usually have very privileged movesets, move pools. One thing that's also very cool with this is another section where I can use it offensively or defensively, because besides like a lot of stuff like for instance Belly Drum, this thing gets Belly Drum, but it also gets Spikes and Spiky Shield and Lead Sheet. So I can also decide, hey, I'm gonna go defensive on this and make it very hard to break. It has Drain Punch, which also recovery, Synthesis, recovery, Lead Sheet, recovery. Same with Giga, well, you wouldn't really want to use Giga Drain, but you know. It has a lot of utility that you don't really see with Greninja or Delphox. Delphox kinda, because it's also a Wish passer. But Greninja is clearly like a fast, fragile kind of thing. Braixen also kind of fragile. And then you have this tank. And I've been wanting to use this mon. This is a fun mon, and I'll have a lot of fun using this. However, at this point, because I was kind of mad that Comfey got taken, so I decided nobody gets to have fun this time. I took Landorus T, which also, I wanted Comfey plus a good ground type. I still needed a good ground type on this because I was still like pretty like, I believe Fire Weak, I thought. But Landorus here is very, very solid. Intimidator, which means I have 2 Intimidate users because pre-Megat Mawile has Intimidate. So I have 2 Intimidate users plus Latias SPDF, which is huge. This thing also is another case where it's like, because I was having kind of a passive thing. I had Mawile as an offense mon, very strong, but that's it. Latias and Chestnut are both typically defensive. So I wanted something that can like do a lot but also be offensive, which is Landorus. Landorus has that 145 base attack, which is already really big. 105 attack, also not bad. Oh my god. Also not bad. It gets a decent amount of coverage. It has that U-turn. It can do a decent lot, which is also why it's so revered in so many like metas, and like it's been in some metas. Because it's a solid mon. And this was kind of all I needed. This gives me a ground immunity too. Like, not something with Levitate, because of course Mold Breaker. And Landorus is just solid overall. I don't think I need to explain much more about this mon. It's pretty common. At this point I was like, I have a grass type mon, I should work on a fire water grass core. And to help with that I brought in Rotom Heat. I have a bit of a trend here. Almost all my Pokemon fall in, they're usually defensive but can be used offensively. Rotom Heat is huge because I had a big ice weakness up until this point, which Rotom Heat patched. And also this is an electric type, which means besides having like access to because this is a ghost naturally, so it has access to Thunder Wave and Wisp and toxic. So it has a bunch of tricks. It has pain split, it can defog, which hazard control is really nice. And of course, fire electric coverage is hard to prepare for. There's not a lot of things that can come in on that, and those usually don't like getting statused. So, very solid mon. Also pair in screens, hex, nasty plot. It's another one of those moves that can like do a lot, and you can't really like see what it will do straight off, which is another reason why this is so great. At this point, water type, very logical. I had one water type in at I. Well, actually before Rotom, that was actually before Rotom Heat. I had Rotom Wash at I, but then that got taken, like straight after Comfey. I got sniped back to back. So I got Rotom Heat, and because I wanted a like, not a like top of the line water type, because I need to save my points, I got 2 20 pointers, which is a lot of points. I went with Jellicent. Jellicent is interesting because it is very bulky, has that strength sap, which is really handy, and gets a decent amount of coverage, to be fair. It has like water and ghost, of course, but it also gets grass coverage, fairy coverage, dark coverage, poison coverage. Poison coverage is very nice, same with ice for incoming grass types. And between strength sap and like this, like, because it's a ghost type, all ghost types have a bag of tricks up their sleeve. I can very easily like use this to weaken teams for like Mawile to sweep, for instance. Of course, abilities also very nice. We have Water Absorb and Cursed Body. Damp is not as big a deal because I can't be exploded on anyway. But Water Absorb and Cursed Body. Water Absorb is pretty nice for my Lando and my Rotom. Just the extra immunity is very nice. And Cursed Body can really annoy some mons, because say something like clicks a dark type move on me and I have the berry for it, and I Cursed Body them. They're now stuck with say a Bishop. They're now stuck without a dark type move. And I am a Jellicent. And I can Scald Burn or Wisp. So yeah, this is a very like hard mon to deal with. It's so tanky and it has so many tricks. At this point, like, I have a lot of defense. I wanted something offensively, which I've been wanting to make a video on this mon again. It's been a while, and I've also had it a few seasons back, which I believe was before I started posting it on YouTube. Oh my god, but Obstagoon. Obstagoon is just a solid Pokemon. Once again, it has plenty of tricks, but the raw power this brings with that Guts facade, which is stab, it has a good amount of coverage. And the thing is, I instantly say Guts, but if you look at its other abilities, they aren't bad. Reckless means I can run double edge without while doing more damage. And Defiant is just overall solid. Say someone is running Sticky Webs, I can bring Defiant, and now you have a big problem in front of you. So all 3 of its abilities are solid. It has good coverage. It has stuff like Parting Shot and Obstruct and Trick, which are very handy. And it's just one of those mons that like, this is pretty straight line in what it does, but what it does really well. So this was just a solid pickup. Plus, I was kind of ghost weak. I had no ghost answers, and this is the ghost answer. So, very nice. Next one, I wanted, well actually, big shoutouts to CT here because he helped me with a lot of like tips on what I should add. And he suggested that I need a poison type to absorb T-spikes, a grounded poison type. And I was looking at this point, and I could get some like lower, because I was running out of points. I believe I had like 15 points left at this point. I was running out of points. I could get some like low tiered poison type like Mug or something. But then I decided to go the other way, which was Dragalge. 13 points, which would leave me with 2 points for my last month, which like that's costly. But Dragalge, very interesting mon. Mostly because of the adaptability. This has some like good offense. Its typing is amazing. Like Poison Dragon is so solid. And the thing is, it gets a lot to cover its weaknesses. It gets Thunder, it gets Focus Blast, it gets Hydro Pump. It gets Play Rough for some reason, I don't know. This is a very, very solid Pokemon all around. Its stats aren't huge or anything. Adaptability helps a lot, but this is its PDF is very high, and it has enough tricks up its sleeve. Also, Poison Point and Poison Touch can honestly, because both are a 30% chance to poison something, and that racks up. For instance, if I have Flip Turn with Poison Touch, and I poison something coming in, I either now have a type advantage with a poisoned Pokemon in front of me, or I don't get the poison point and I just have the type advantage. Stuff like that is because people don't think about that, but it is actually pretty handy. Also, this thing gets Skill Shot now, which is interesting. I don't actually, hold on. Skill Shot is probably not a contact move. I was like, does that trigger on every one? But probably not. But yeah, very interesting Pokemon. I really hope it can put in some work, because this is one of those Pokemon that I really like. So, and then last, I had 2 points left at this point, and I needed something cheap, and I was looking through the list of 2 and 1 pointers, and I could have gone with Furt, to be fair, but I already had a normal type, so I was like, woo. This is a really solid low budget pick, because Endeavor, solid move. Its stats are a bit lacking, but honestly it makes up for that. It has that Endeavor, it has Leech Life with that Stab, and the Swarm. It has, most importantly, Sticky Webs. I got very cheap Sticky Webs here. Also, I can use Bug Bite to steal berries, I just realized, and it will be Technician boosted. Small stuff, like Fell Stinger. I can Fell Stinger someone and get 3 extra stages to my attack. It gets Struggle Bug, which could be nice for like setting up on other Pokemon. Rain Dance, Sunny Day, very handy. Endure, Growl, it has like all the like standard stuff. Sing. It has Perish Song, which could be used. Knockoff, Heal Bell. This has a surprising amount of like good options. And even though I'm not expecting it to come out that often, it's a good, for 2 points, this is so worth it. And honestly, I'm really like looking forward to using this. Overall, this whole team, it seems really interesting because I can do a lot with it. Because like we have mods like not Lando, Rodom, and where is he? Chestnut. Chestnut is a one I'm very much looking forward to. By the way, I didn't talk about it while I was talking about Chestnut, but Bulletproof, such a solid ability. And we have, of course, that Larias, which can do so many different things. Mawal is just strong, and like all in all, I'm really happy with this draft, and I'm really curious to see how it'll do. It's a shame because I kind of wanted Comfey, but honestly, I think at this point, I drafted something I'm happy with, and I can possibly do very well. It's been a while since I've done draft, but I won't really let that stop me. So I guess we're gonna have to see how it goes. Until the first battle, I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.